As the General Assembly starts to wind down here at the state capitol, there are a couple of items that I wanted to share with you. One is it has been a very productive session. Most of the jobs and economic development bills that have been pushed by the governor and by the Senate Republicans have now passed, and most of them are before the governor today. Probably the biggest disappointment is that currently the Senate has decided not to pass a budget. We have an $85 billion budget that has been worked on by both Republicans and Democrats in the 10th floor of this building, but thus far the Democrats have determined not to pass the bill. Not because they don't like what's in the bill, but because they still would like to see more power going to the Democrat caucus. In my 21 years here at the Capitol, I've simply never seen anything like it. There is a desire, that it appears to be a desire, to trade more power in Richmond for the state budget. Over the last couple of days, I've heard from many of my constituents, many of you, about the concern about not having a budget, especially the local school divisions, which we've heard from a number of them saying we need to have a budget set by March the 15th. As we sit here today, we don't see a budget being able to be passed by March the 15th. We don't think that it's probably able to be passed by the end of March. And as most of you know, by May the 1st, local governments are required to start putting their budgets together. That will require the school systems a few weeks to put together their budget, and the problems will end up snowballing. You know, in this Capitol, we've seen actually the House Democrats, the House Republicans, both come together to pass a budget. We've seen the Senate Republicans put together a version of the bill that has strong bipartisan support in the subcommittees. But we now have a situation where for the first time in my memory, we could not have a budget going into the end of the 2-year budget cycle. The effect of that is that we've heard from the governor that he might have to use his constitutional emergency powers to actually allow for the government to continue. What I've told some of my Senate Democrats is that if they're concerned about a very conservative and a constitutional government, I'm sure that Bob McDonnell will implement that with his emergency powers. So as we complete our process here for the regular session of the General Assembly, I hope you'll continue to check back in with us and check in on what happens here at the Capitol, and hopefully the next time we talk we will have a Senate budget to share with you. Thank you for your time.